Paul Stewart, signing for nerdcaliber.com, and I'm here with Mark McKenna.
Hi.
How are you, Mark?
I'm good, thanks.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your work? What are you promoting here today?
Well, the promoter of the show, Larry Harrison, I'm friends with one of the guys who works for him, Jimmy Turnus, and we come from New York, and I wanted to help support the show. So it's a fair ride out here, but I have new product coming out next week, so I was hoping it'd be out a little early so I could help promote new stuff.
Okay. So, what are your projects that you're hoping to promote today?
My new projects are I'm working on a Star Wars web comic called Blood of the Empire. It's Old Republic stuff. It's 7 pages every 2 weeks. I'm doing for Dark Horse, and then I'm going to collect it into a 84-page graphic novel in September. I just signed a contract to do a 5-part, 22-page another Old Republic story that I'll be starting right after this one is done. And I have a new children's book called Banana Tales Colorful Adventure coming out from Image. Image has a imprint line called Silver Line Books that's coming out June 30th next week.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about your history, like how you first got into the industry and all that?
I graduated art school in like 1982, School of Visual Arts, and I had Will Eisner from The Spirit was a teacher of mine back then, and he was probably the only reason I went to School of Visual Arts, because he was like an icon to me, you know. And when I graduated there, I actually fell out of love with comic books, because as much as a talent as he was, I found like I wasn't learning enough about the comic book industry. So I went into animation for a while, and actually when I got out of school, I went full circle, and the perspective teacher at my college was a fellow named Sal Almondola, who was the new talent coordinator at DC Comics. And he had meetings with me, and I showed him samples. I used to go to DC Comics like every other week, and I would visit with him, and he would say to me, "You're going on the right track, and eventually, if you will become a professional if you stick with this." And that was enough for me, to continue. Yeah, yeah, it was fun. But then what happened also is John Romita was doing samples at DC, and John Romita Sr. was the art director at Marvel Comics. He was seeing my samples and actually hired me to become an art corrections guy on staff. So I worked there for a few years too. That's awesome. Yeah, it was fun.
So, do you have any words of advice for upcoming artists who would like to do something similar in the field?
For new guys, we see a lot of them at shows. We see a lot of guys at shows that are want to be in the business, but I mean, you can't. Your biggest fans are your family. Your family always think you can never do anything wrong. You need to seek professional advice. You have to be very hard to be objective about your talent. You think you think your stuff is okay, and your mom loves you and thinks you're the best ever. But you need to see professionals. Yeah, right. And you need to see editors, and you need to be persistent, but you can't be obnoxious. There's a fine line between being persistent and being obnoxious, and you can't cross the line, because if they see you coming, they're going to start to turn off to you. But I think you have to find avenues to show your stuff and not take no for an answer. And the business is even harder today because there's a huge influx of talent all the time, and there's only so many comic books out there. So you can't be better than the worst guy. You have to be as good as the best guy. Because I know guys that think they should be working because they're better than this guy or that guy. That's not the way it really works.
So it's basically kind of like shoot for the stars, don't give up, and don't be a jerk kind of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of it also is right place, right time, and who you know. Yeah. Those are the two main things.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. What would you say your favorite comic book or comic book superhero would it is?
I was a big cosmic hero guy. I like the Silver Surfer and Adam Warlock. I always dug that stuff. I was always a Marvel guy growing up. Never much of a DC character, guy. So when I got to work on like a Silver Surfer, that was like a full circle for me. I didn't do a lot of Silver Surfer, but I did do an annual. And I did a couple nice pinups for Silver. I did an issue of 96 of Silver Surfer back in 1992 or 93. I'm in the business 25 years now, so there's not a whole lot of characters I haven't touched.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Actually,
I figured out how many pages it was. It's over 7,000 pages I've worked on.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of work over a lot of years. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Thanks. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
And